Up, y'all? Welcome to Elevated Exchange, where I got me, Clinton Wayne Norvo. We over here kicking it, just politicking, man. And we glad to bring y'all something that's unique and from perspectives that I feel can deliver a level of insight. We just want to chop up topics that I feel are very relevant to situations that we all see or situations that we personally have met just in day to day. So right now it's going to be a lot of shit that I notice is about validation, and that could be self validation or validation by environment. And I think that sometimes people are creating not even just content, but information that really, I don't know if it fully expresses themselves or if it's to go ahead to speak to a certain audience and get the recognition that may not always match with what they actually are or who they are looking for, some type of receipts to be validated on their own. And a lot of times I think that authenticity starts to go out the window. Originality starts to become like something that's less focused on, because so many people are bent and shaped by what they perceive is the trend that others want to see, but I'm going to let my colleagues, jump in and this is a discussion that really I feel can really unlock a few things, man. I don't know. I will go ahead and yeah, what you think on that validation?
You know what? I agree 1000%. And I also notice one thing is that most people really just need to be validated by, their environment, of course, but it also comes down to what is their environment reward? What is society reward? Now, authenticity is going out the window, excuse me. But when you are an authentically a foolish person, that's something that society rewards right now. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't take much work for you to be anything else, because all you got to do is just go outside and engage in foolishness all day and make sure you get it on camera. Right. So, that becomes a domino effect eventually, because eventually these people, considering the fact that they're getting rewarded for these things, it puts them in a higher tax bracket and that gives them influence, right? So the people that are authentic, that we know that can bring a lot of positive changes to society, they're going to continue to get pushed to the back burner until we come up with a different kind of approach to the way that we spread these messages on social media with things. So at the end of the day, I feel like for the most part, everything has its phases when it comes to what's trending and what people really use to validate themselves. Because, for example, Instagram is the perfect tool for people to get on there and be whoever they want to be, so they could seek that validation that's not even real in the first place. Because it's something that you're gonna have to consistently do.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna lead to, okay,
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's gonna lead to where it's not even cool anymore, because everybody's gonna say, all right, we actually want to see the bad parts of things. We want to see the growing parts of things. We don't want to keep seeing this finished product, so people can go ahead and give you this clap and say congratulations. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much how I'm able to put everything into one box, so we could be able to come up with some kind of solution. You know what I'm saying? What you think, brother?
I think the slight is right.
Yeah,
And I feel overweight, And my stomach is growling because I'm nervous speaking right now.
You all good,
You know what
bro.
I mean? But
There you go.
That's what we're talking about.
no, we're good, bro.
No, shit, we running it like our rules.
Yeah.
But being authentic, you know,
uh,
I think social media nowadays is like a new drug.
mm,
Back in the days, people had crack addiction, cocaine, heroin addiction, but attention is the new addiction. And I think it's worse and worse because to be valid nowadays, people depend.
hmm I
They're
agree.
not in tune with self.
Right.
So what others think, or how many likes or how many hearts you get, is how you measure yourself in society.
Right.
And I think it's a bad thing because it's gone too far. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? People don't understand themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say
Fact.
themselves, not the character that you created online, I'm talking about the actual person you are. But as long as you look for validation, you can't think for yourself.
Facts.
What you do is you wake up and you program.
Mm-hmm.
How should I dress? How should I look? What angle should I do it at?
Mm-hmm.
How should I say it to where someone else will like it?
Right.
And then you neglect liking yourself.
Exactly. Because you're not doing it based off of what you like first.
Exactly.
It's facts.
Nah, that's completely facts because I like what you said is program. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And people don't understand, like, you know, if you've been behind the wall, you understand that they got a program for you.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Out here, they putting themselves behind the screen. There's a
Yeah.
program for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
At all times.
At all times. And so this program, it becomes your conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
It's the condition you run with. And you wake up and you do it habitually. And the problem is, after a while, you don't even notice that the program is running.
Right.
You know, because now it's subconscious. Like
Yeah.
you waking up and this is like boom, 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 boom. This is the setup. And
Right.
now it's like people don't know the difference between when this fictitious person started and when it ends. Because now that is what people end up calling that shadow work.
Right.
That shit that happened.
I agree.
You got now this profile that you built, and that profile now you've ran with that profile so long that you got to now meet the expectations of this profile.
Yeah.
You got to go ahead and show up as
Facts.
this profile every time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, when people start getting, I guess, disgusted with themselves,
Mm-hmm.
when you can't, you know, see, for me, I've never felt like I could be real with myself or I could enjoy my life if I couldn't look at myself in the mirror.
Right.
If I couldn't look at that man and be happy with his choices
Mm-hmm.
from day one to today, then there's something wrong.
Right.
And I got to see who I know I am and what I want to appear to be. And a lot of these people, they can't look at themselves in the mirror.
I think it also comes down to people being afraid to challenge themselves to do something that they know that they need to do to become better, to become a better person, and to, you know, feel better about themselves as well. You know, when you challenge yourself and you reach a goal that you thought wasn't obtainable at first, it releases a different kind of dopamine in the mind that social media and the internet can never give you.
Right.
You know, and now they're making it to where conveniency is always going to be in these people's faces because you don't have to lead or really do anything challenging anymore to get rewarded or to survive out here now. You could strictly spend all your time on a device right now and get everything that you want. And you don't even got to leave the house to grocery shop no more. Everything can come to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So society is not requiring anybody to push themselves to the limits to even, to even figure out who they really are as a person.
Well, we're shaping a society of people that are more complacent.
Yeah, and you could say the same thing with music too. Like we see how there's so many different artists out now, but they sound the same. So like for example, drill music, right? You could literally go on to YouTube right now and you could become a drill rapper because all you got to do is type in, drill rapping type beat. Back in the days, I'll say like right before the internet really became a sensation when it came to like streaming music and things like that, we had producers that was creating their own sound. Why? Because it was a sound that they liked first, even if everybody else wasn't agreeing with it. We literally seen what happened with Kanye West. This man has literally created multiple different sounds that a lot of people still haven't been able to duplicate to this day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it's becoming this rinse and repeat of, we see this person go viral off of that. Let me do it too. Even if it's not some
originality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they're not really doing that because they genuinely like it, because if it was, then you would be tapping into the ether, coming up with your own original thought.
That's
what
scary.
I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Because now that requires you to sit alone and really think about everything that you're doing wrong.
They said, be myself. They said, hell no.
Yeah, you got to think about, your shortcomings, what you got to work on to perfect your craft.
Well, you got to be also, is a key thing. To be authentic, you have to be vulnerable.
Facts. And they don't want to do that because that's the possible, it's a possible chance of you getting rejected, judged. You know what I'm saying? And things like people trying to run away from that and just want to run to the end goal too fast. And it's like you skipping way too many steps right here. And then you wonder why when you reach that goal, you still not fulfilled. Now you gotta go, you gotta do more. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. And you lose yourself in this whole process. How many celebrities do we see nowadays that hate their life? As soon as they get famous. Now it's like, man, you complaining about so much, but you work so hard to get here. Because you lost yourself in the process.
A lot of times they did work so hard.
Right, that too.
They cloned into somebody else.
Right.
So
Facts.
It's not them, it's somebody else.
Facts. I agree 1,000%.
A lot of them live in a shell.
Mm-hmm.
They don't love themselves. They seek validation, like we're speaking of.
Right.
They don't have any confidence. You know
Man.
what I mean? They don't. I don't know.
No, that was what I said earlier too. It's a lack of confidence.
Yeah, everything is fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because validation is on so many different levels.
Mm-hmm.
You want approval in the hood. You want to be approved by, does the label want this? Or does the coach want this? Or does the internet want this?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you want?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And speaking within, category of music, a lot of these people don't even, like you said, they don't like or love the music.
Facts.
They just want to be part of the crowd
of
what is moving over. Okay, like you said, I want to be a drill rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be a drill rapper.
Right.
You just want likes. And
exactly.
Say, oh, yeah.
You want the benefits of being a drill rapper.
Exactly. That's why you see a lot of people now, they went from trying to do music to now they want to do streams and act the ass and all that stuff because they're trying to gain traction. They just want attention. We've said that before. It's like kicking a dead horse. But the fact of the matter is, it might end up this is mental health, bro.
Oh, for sure.
It's mental health.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I do a lot of research on the mind, especially with Black Americans, and looking at it from a scientific view of things, I would definitely say that it all goes down to the dopamine chase. What can I do to, because, and also, in a lot of our impoverished communities, especially in Southern California, our community don't even have talks about mental health, let alone even making sure that these kids are getting the attention that they need to be diagnosed or whatever they need to be diagnosed with. Me, I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 13 years old. I was on medication. You know what I'm saying? That was helping me to improve my focus with things and, making sure that I could be productive and stuff like that. But I noticed that a lot of my friends had the same problems, but their parents wasn't as attentive to it. So what it did was it had, because when your prefrontal cortex is not activated the right way, it's a chemical imbalance there, right? So now you got to constantly seek out these mind stimulating things to activate that dopamine in the brain. So when you in the hood gang banging, you on your phone, you doing this and that, all of that stuff is fun to them because it's releasing this dopamine in the mind, right? But what's happening is they're creating this identity that's outside of themselves now, because they're not getting the right help that they need. And this is why you also see a lot of black men just run into the easier things to do in life now, becoming a streamer, becoming a rapper, or trying to be a ball player. Why aren't we trying to push ourselves to do things that are more challenging to do? It's because they're not exciting. It's not exciting enough for them.
It's a thrill seeking.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not fast enough for them.
Right.
But they don't know that they have these mental health problems because it wasn't a conversation to begin with.
It wasn't that's one of the key things. It wasn't a conversation. And I think even if we go into some of that, like even in our neighborhoods, we get boxed in with what we're told and conditioned that we could do. Like white boys, they could go out, they could be snowboarders, they could be skateboarders, they could be they could jump out of airplanes, they could do whatever they want. But if you a nigga, this is what you're supposed to be. You have to only be able to go ahead and be in these boxes, like or no longer are you a nigga or even a black man. Like what did Joe Biden say? If you ain't vote for me, you ain't black. So now you still allowing a white man to come in and tell you where the boundaries and the constrictions are for the type of person that you're allowed to be.
Right.
And we've taken that all the way even from slave days, but that conditioning has always set because the parameters have been set just like the neighborhoods are divided by the freeways.
Right.
And you live here, you only think like this, you only be like this, and if you step outside of that, you will be ostracized from your community because now you no longer fit what we told you y'all supposed to be.
Right.
And that's the problem because I think both of y'all touched on it. A lot of times, especially in society with black men, we have so many different rules.
Yeah.
You got rules of the parent. You know what I mean? Then you got the street rules, hood rules.
Facts.
The laws of the law of the land. You know what I mean?
Rules in your relationship.
Rules in the relationship.
At work.
We have so much
everywhere.
Stuff. It's everywhere. So you don't know what you're supposed to follow.
Right.
See, there's no right answer, but there's so much wrong. You see what I mean?
Man.
So let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that a lot of people in our community, our culture, they chase fast money, quick money because they don't see their life as a long-term thing?
For sure, because I did that. I wasn't expecting to be here this year. That's for sure. With all the activities I was getting into and the people that I had around me, I was literally doing what I can to try to speed up the process because I felt like I made too many mistakes that I wasn't going to be able to come back from. But that was just due to the people that I was hanging around. I didn't know there was a whole nother world out there, that had different people with better perspectives about life and, different opportunities that I could be put on by knowing these people. But when you're around a group of individuals that just know nothing but just living fast all day, it becomes normal to you. And then it'll be a scary thing when you try to step outside of that and do it on your own because, it's something that's totally new to you. And you could potentially fuck that up by self-sabotaging because it's not comfortable, So yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. A lot of people my age and younger don't even want to get old because they look at it as a burden because of the way that the society treats old people.
Or
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
They look at it like that. Like, you know, oh, you done been past your time. But it's like we still got plenty of examples.
but we do that also to ourselves, to our own society, where we treat it with, so much adolescence.
Oh yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? And that's the only thing that's praised and allowed. I didn't myself personally, like, my upbringing had a lot of uniqueness to it. So
Right.
what I was embedded with wasn't traditional. So I got, I had somebody teaching me about immortality and you being God, and putting, God body in,
Right.
and holistic teaching. So, I, even though I had part of my family that had all the hood ties, and then my other side of my family, with my moms and stuff, taught different. But my peers, to what you were saying, Clinton, I saw a lot of my peers,
Right.
that fast money, what I mean, need to get it immediate. And I think there's a two-part fold to that, where the fast money, us as black men, we want to go ahead and change the conditions of what we came from,
Right.
because we saw so much struggle. So we want to go ahead and not have to live that again. But then also, like you said earlier, the dopamine rush, getting fast money is an addiction.
Man.
Once you see how to get that fast money, that's why you see these casinos got people up in them day in and day night. You know what I mean? And they keep that sunlight out and block them in, because they know that, hey, if you can't tell how much time passed, you're going to just be stuck in here trying to get that fast money. And that's just with the human condition, that money that comes quick and easy is addicting. If you could do it once, you think you could do it twice. And when the streets go ahead and adopt you into being able to accept that ideology, and now you have the experience to also match for this to be truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you're going to want to rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But the problem is, fast money goes fast, and there's always, a dark side to the end of that tunnel.
Oh, for sure.
But since we looking so short term, we often have that adolescent mindset, where children, they can be as smart as possible in the world, but the problem a child has that it separates them from an adult, they don't know how to have the foresight of consequence. You know what I mean? So us being in an adolescent mindset, the same way that, we see the rap game. What is it? It's always focused on very young. Young. Oh, you too old. You too this. But who tells you that? Who's developed that programming for you to go ahead and run that condition?
Right.
These are your conditions, and this is the program for these conditions. And we are also, there's other people we could say has placed that on us, but now we self-perpetuate.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're speaking gospel right there. Funny thing about it is, like you said, they're conditioned. Fast money, but no investment. Fast money, no financial literacy. So now they teach you. Once again, it comes to validity. You are nobody if you don't have Louis V.
Come on now.
Balenciaga. You know what I'm saying?
I've been ostracized from my community multiple times because I didn't have these things.
Yeah.
And then it's like, when you finally get it, where are these people at? Where are these people at? They know nothing. They don't want to come next to you, because now your success reflects they felt. They didn't believe that you was even gonna be able to attain them things. That's why once I got it, I really I was really careless with the way that I was treating these things, to show these dudes, like, at the end of the day, this is what your end goal is. I could throw this shit off of the bridge right now.
Yeah.
it'll mean nothing to me. You'd probably be the type to jump in the water and try to go get it, because it mean everything to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Longevity is everything to me.
All right,
you feel me?
Hold that thought.
Okay.
We'll just pick up on a new podcast. We already getting about
Okay.
half an hour on that.
Cool.
Yeah, like that's what I'm